Hi, this is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Hard Asset Conference in San Francisco. Standing directly next to me is Brian Testo, only known as Grizz in the business. Next to him is Michael Dufresne, a geologist for Grizzly Discoveries, Inc., GZD on the TSX Venture, and GZDIF on the OTCQX. Well, with that introduction, don't let me down, fellas. Tell me what's going on at Grizz.
Okay, well, I'm going to let Mike speak to start with because he's a consulting geologist. I'll just give you a brief background. I started the company about 7 years ago. I put $2 million worth of my money into the company, so I got a big vested interest. We have a gold project in British Columbia. We have 225,000 acres in the Greenwood area of British Columbia, right on the Washington-U.S. border, on the Canadian side of it. And we have 2.4 million acres of potash in Alberta, on the Alberta side of the Saskatchewan border. And we also have a diamond project that's on care and maintenance. Mike's been a geologist. He helped me start the company. He's been a consulting geologist for Grizzly for 7 years. He runs a company called Apex Geoscience. He has over 100 geologists working for him, and he comes to the show with me to help tell my story. So he can fill you in on what we're doing on the drilling and on the other things.
Right now we've started drilling on our copper-gold project, gold-copper project in the Greenwood area. It's about 225,000 acres. We've spent the entire summer doing ground geophysics, flying airborne surveys, soil sampling, and this last, starting about a month ago, commenced our drilling program. We just got our results on our first hole, about half a gram per ton over about 50 meters, a pretty good intersection to start with. We will be having results from about this point on all the way through the end of January. Our potash project, we completed our first oil. It's an oil style well, but it's drilled for potash. We started that about 2 weeks ago and completed our first well last week, and we'll be starting our second well this week in the Medicine Hat area, which is in southern Alberta, right up against the Saskatchewan border, in an area that historically is known to have about 20% K2O, or potash as it's known, and we're hoping to complete that hole over the next 2 weeks, and again have analyses come January, so a good stream of news for the next few months for Grizzly Discoveries, and we're pretty active in exploration over the next 2 or 3 months.
Sounds to me like you guys are a little busy.
Very.
So,
Very busy.
what's your background?
I started out as a prospector welder, and I prospected diamond ground in Alberta in the early 80s. In the 90s, when there was a little diamond boom going on, I sold the ground to public companies like myself, helped them raise money, and they didn't always do what they said they were going to do. So
Surprise.
I was surprised because I'm a straightforward, straight shooting, don't wear a suit kind of guy. I'll wear a suit, but the odd time. Anyway, Mike and a few other people got together and said, Grizz, you got good ground, you can raise money, start your own company. Why don't you start your own company? And I gave them 3 ultimatums to think about for a couple of weeks. One was I wasn't going to sit in an office 8 hours a day and answer the phone. I don't do paperwork, and I won't wear a tie. And I said, you think about that for 2 weeks. We'll have another meeting. We had another meeting, and they said, well, we can hire the paperwork out. We can do this. We can do that. And no, you don't have to wear a tie. So we started Grizzly Diamonds. It was called Grizzly Diamonds for 5 years. And then we hit 3 kimberlites actually, 2 diamond Dufresne ones. In 2008, when the Lehman Brothers went belly up, our stock was at $1.05. We announced we hit kimberlites. It went down to 80 cents. Then it continued to go down. 2 years later, about a year and a half ago, we changed the name to Grizzly Discoveries. We have the diamonds on care and maintenance right now, but they're coming back. We've got the potash and the Greenwood gold area because we got huge land positions in.
Well, you know, as they say, you got 3 pitches to hit a ball out of the park.
Yep.
Sounds to me. With gold, with potash, and with diamonds, right?
Yep.
1 hits, you're good. In my opinion, if all 3 hit, you're great. Correct?
Absolutely, and I think the idea going forward is if we're lucky enough to get a hit, which we hope we will, one of those projects becomes a growing concern, we'll spin it out and let the other two projects finance themselves and continue on in the exploration game. There's many options, and we've always been in agreement. It's always good to have three shots at the silver dollar, so to speak, and they're three excellent projects, and each of them is financeable at different times of the year or different times in the markets, and that's why we've kind of gone that route. A lot of guys don't like that, but I think it's a good balance for your shareholders.
I feel a sense of experience. I see a sense of knowledge. I think you guys have been around the block a couple of times, and you're probably you're no rookies at this. So, all right, now I'm going to ask you the tough question. What's the website? Who wants to answer that? Is that your question? Because
GrizzlyDiscoveries.com. We have 2 presentations on it. We got all our maps on it. Interviews. Mike has written the Diamond Potential Book of Alberta with another fellow. He was the lead writer in that, and he also wrote a government paper, the potash one. Yep. They're all accessible through our. Is that on our website?
I think so.
It's all linked to the website. The USGS just did a big potash survey in December of 2010. It became public in February, and since it became public, people have started to pay attention.
Potash is a very hot area. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we run out of tape, Brian, Testo, Grizz, and Mike Dufresne, I want you to know, go visit their website. These guys are Grizzly because they're from GrizzlyDiscoveries.com, GRIZZLY, Discoveries plural.com. Thank you both for coming on.
Thank you.
Much.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Right on. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.